The night I realized I was never really part of her life. For the better part of 3 years, I thought I was in a healthy, respectful relationship. My girlfriend and I had what most would call a pretty balanced setup. She had her occasional girls' nights every couple weeks, and I had my own time with friends. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. She would talk about how important those girls' nights were, how sometimes she just needed time with her girls. I got that. I respected it. We all need space sometimes, right? So I never questioned it. But last week, everything changed. Her friend and her boyfriend were hanging out at our apartment. Nothing unusual at first. We were talking casually when he brought up something funny that happened last Saturday. Now, last Saturday was her most recent girls' night. So I was confused. I asked, "Wait, you were there?" And his response, "Yeah, we're usually there for those nights." I tried not to react, but inside, I felt my stomach tighten. I played it cool and asked a few more casual questions. Within minutes, I learned that not only was he a regular, but all of the boyfriends came along. Every single time. Except me. For 3 years, I had been led to believe that these were sacred, all-girl hangouts. A chance to unwind, to reconnect with her friends, to do her own thing. And yet, it turns out they were essentially double and triple dates, minus the guy she supposedly loved. I felt stunned, betrayed, but more than anything, left out. And for the first time, I couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was going on. That night, when we were alone, I brought it up. She tried brushing it off. Said things like, "Oh, the guys aren't always invited, and they just tag along sometimes." But I wasn't buying it. I had already heard enough to know that this wasn't some casual coincidence. This was routine. So why had I never been invited? Her answers were vague, deflective, like she didn't really want to deal with the question. But I needed answers. Because this wasn't about just one night out. This was about 3 years of exclusion, of being left in the dark while everyone else was in the loop. I had always welcomed her into my friend group. She came to my events, my get-togethers, my nights out. She knew my friends. Meanwhile, I realized I had never truly been part of hers. Even when I did meet 1 or 2 of them, I always got a weird vibe. Like I was being sized up, dismissed, talked over. And whenever I'd mention it, she'd say, "You're imagining things," or "They're just shy." I believed her, because I wanted to. But the truth came crashing in a few days later, when I finally sat her down and told her I needed honesty. Real honesty. No deflections. No excuses. And that's when she admitted it. She told me that, in the beginning of our relationship, she vented to her friends about every little issue we had. Every argument. Every annoying quirk. Every misunderstanding. But she never told them when things got better. Never told them how we worked through it. How we learned and grew. So all her friends ever saw was a warped version of me, a highlight reel of my worst moments, with none of the good. They started making jokes, insults, quiet remarks behind my back. Over time, I became the designated punching bag of the group. And she let it happen. She knew they hated me, knew they mocked me, knew they rolled their eyes and whispered things when I was around. And she said nothing. She told me she didn't like confrontation. That she didn't want to be the center of attention. That was her excuse. For 3 years of letting people shit-talk the man she claimed to love. I asked her, "Why didn't you tell them the truth? That we worked through things. That I wasn't this awful person they think I am." She just looked at me, eyes wide, and shrugged. I didn't think it would change anything. And the worst part, even in that moment, when I was giving her one last chance to say something, anything, to show me she'd fight for this relationship, she couldn't do it. I asked her, "Will anything change going forward? Will you talk to them, stand up for me, or even just stop spending time with people who openly disrespect me?" Her response, "I could try, maybe talk to them one by one." But there was no conviction in her voice. No fire. No care. That was the moment I knew. I was done. I told her I couldn't do this anymore. That I wouldn't stay in a relationship where I was the enemy in her own inner circle, and where she was too afraid or unwilling to defend me. She cried, begged me not to go. But even in her tears, there was no promise that anything would change. Just more silence. More avoidance. So I left. And yeah, it hurts. It really hurts. I loved her. I still do. I tried to be the best version of myself in this relationship. But love means nothing when it's one-sided. When the person who says they care about you lets others mock you for years without lifting a finger. I wasn't looking for perfection. I was just looking for someone who had my back, even when I wasn't in the room. I didn't get that. So now I'm alone, and it's painful. But at least I'm not stuck in a relationship where I was being quietly humiliated behind closed doors by the people closest to her, while she stood by, smiling. I deserve better. And I'm finally ready to stop settling for less.